What's up, everybody? This is episode 2 of Franchise Chat, a new series where we focus on one game series. In each episode, we talk one title in that franchise. I'm here today again with Mario Piaquedio. What's up?
Hi, everybody. What's up?
And we're going to talk about the famous, most loved Uncharted 2.
Yeah, people love that game, and I understand why completely.
I do too. It was the first game in the series that I played.
It was the second game of the series I played. I played Uncharted 3 first, and then I went back. But Uncharted 2 is definitely a special game, especially when you look at it from Uncharted 1, how much it improved on what Uncharted 1 did.
Exactly. Everything that Uncharted 1 even attempted or did succeed in, Uncharted 2 did like 5 times better.
Yeah, 5 times better and bigger and just way more
Beautiful.
over the top and more beautiful. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and Uncharted 2 on PS4 literally looks like a brand new
It does.
game
It's
that came
beautiful.
out.
It's a beautiful game for sure. All these snow effects when you get to the Himalaya.
Yep.
It's beautiful.
I was just thinking the snow whenever he's like bloody and he's like coming off the plane.
Yeah, for sure. It's beautiful. It really is.
The train, not the plane.
The train, yeah.
The plane is Uncharted,
It's Uncharted 3, yeah. Uncharted 2, especially that train sequence, is I think the part that blew my mind the most, especially coming from Uncharted 1. Because Uncharted 1 was awesome, but it didn't have those types of moments where we're so grand and you just felt wow, mesmerized.
Had nothing like nothing like that, which is interesting that they did it so well in Uncharted 2.
Yeah, that train sequence is absolutely beautiful and brilliant. When you're there and you realize that you feel like you're actually in a moving train. It's just wonderful. It feels like you're actually moving through a town.
Yeah.
And when you get it's wonderful.
It's an incredible feat.
It's incredible. I don't know how they did that, especially because that wasn't in the end of the PS3 life. I don't know how they pulled that off, but that was fantastic.
Yeah, it's crazy how to think that was a game that came out in 2009.
I think so, yeah, because Uncharted 3 was 2011.
Yeah, and it just still blows current games out of the water.
It does, and when you're in the train and you're first in the jungle, and then you go through the tunnel, you're in the tunnel for a while, and when you come out and it's all snowy and icy, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite games of all time. Just like every game in the Uncharted series,
for sure. It's high up there. It's high up there for sure.
Yeah, I think they knew that they had something special, and this is the guys. I know Neil was Bruce on Uncharted 2.
I'm pretty sure Bruce was in there too before they jumped to The Last of Us.
Last of Us. Yeah, so these are the guys that brought us The Last of Us.
Exactly.
So,
and they are the guys behind Uncharted 4.
Yeah, so they got an amazing pedigree.
Yeah, they do more than great games. They do masterpieces.
Yeah, and they get a lot of crap for delaying Uncharted 4, but they're building literally a masterpiece.
Yeah, I have no doubt that Uncharted 4 will be amazing. I just want them to take their time. It's about to drop, but I'm fine with them delaying it because I just want to play that game in its fullest potential. Uncharted
2 was kind of weird because the story is kind of a ripoff of Uncharted 1.
That's I think the main issue with Uncharted 2, that it has a lot of the same story beats that Uncharted 1 has. It's practically the same thing.
Yeah, you could play Uncharted 2 and pretend like it's 1, and you wouldn't really miss anything.
The story beats are very, very similar, which is something that Uncharted 3 improved because Uncharted 3 has had some different stuff. But yeah, and Uncharted 2 and 1 in story-wise are basically the same. But it's very strange because setting-wise and presentation-wise, they're totally different. You go from jungle to ice to snow.
To frickin' Uncharted 2 was great because we got Nathan Drake out of the jungle,
exactly.
which almost the entirety of Uncharted 1 took place in.
Yeah, it was the first game in the franchise that really went different places. It wasn't just set in just one space. You jumped around many different set pieces. You start in the museum at the beginning, then you go to the Himalayas, then you go to a town, then you go to an ice cave. It's you jump between very different spaces.
Yeah, it does so much new, but yet the same, so splendidly.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and for me, one of the really the best parts about the game is the very beginning, because it starts out very different. It starts out with Nathan seemingly dying, with a wound in his stomach, and in a train that's hanging from a mountain that's about to explode, and you're just thrust in there without having any context and knowing what happened, and you just from the get-go you're high tension and you're wondering what happened, and it's very actiony, and you have to climb a train hanging from a mountain while you're bleeding out to death, and that's brilliant.
Yeah, and it's also like a brilliant way to explain the game's controls in the very beginning.
Exactly.
And it immediately tells you that this game is more focused on the climbing and the parkour.
Yeah, because Uncharted 1 had the climbing things, but Uncharted 2 is the game that really focused on that part of the game, on climbing a lot and a lot of moving set pieces and stuff like that. That I think is what makes the franchise so special.
I agree. Another thing that's unique about Uncharted 2 is I think that it's a lot shorter than... Isn't it shorter than 1?
I think it definitely feels shorter.
Yeah, it feels a lot shorter. I don't know if it's because you're doing more different stuff, like has great pacing.
Exactly. I think it may be an illusion because like you said, Nathan Drake isn't in the jungle as much. In Uncharted 1, around the third act and the finish of the game, you're walking around same places and places you've seen before, and you're like, okay, I've been here before. I just want to get to the end of the game. And you don't really get that from Uncharted 2 because there's so many different places to be and to explore.
You might have warned me.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably is an illusion. I'm probably getting that all wrong, so don't hate me. But Uncharted 2 feels shorter than any of the other ones.
Yeah, which isn't a bad thing, really, because it feels, I don't know, more compact and more... It's just improved. It really is Uncharted 1 improved in every way.
Yeah. And, just... Wait, Sorry, now I'm getting mixed up with Uncharted 3. Uncharted 2 was the Rocky Mountain monsters, right?
Yeah, yeah. The monster that looked like Yetis.
Yeah, so it made us think that it was following the same storyline as Uncharted 1 with, like, the supernatural twist.
Yeah, it's...
And then you find out that there's people inside the monster suits, but then you find out...
that they're not really normal people. That's the thing. It throws you off with this supernatural stuff because you're like, oh man, there's these ice Yetis in the ice cave where you find the dead Nazis, and you're like, oh, what the fuck is going on? And then there are these monsters, and by the end of the game, you figure out that they're the people that live in the place you're searching for, but they're not regular people either. They are like beefy and weird, sort of.
And super hard to kill on crushing.
Super hard, and really on any difficulty, those things could soak up bullets. And
yeah, and
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Ahead. Oh no, you go ahead first.
Oh yeah, cool. And when you are in the town, I can't really remember the name of the town right now, but when you're in the place where all the people from there jump out at you and they take a lot of time to kill, that's a very special moment. You feel kind of desperate. You are starting to drop without you starting to, sorry, stay sparse in ammo, and you're trying to find grenades to kill the guys, and it's really, you feel desperate and stressed, and it's a very good ending to me.
Yeah, and another thing that Uncharted 2 did that was different from Uncharted 1 is it had, like, the slow moments of, like, peacefulness and, like, artistic, like when you're walking through the town
exactly.
after you wake up.
Yeah.
And, like, you see the animals and the people, like, living their life up on this mountain, and it's just like, wow.
Honestly,
this is awesome.
Honestly, those I think are my favorite parts of the Uncharted games, the in-between moments, which is kind of strange.
I agree.
But like you said, when you wake up, the game does a really good job of building up action and giving you a lot of action, and then dropping you off and letting you cool down before giving you a lot of action again. Like the moment, like you said, when you're in the town and then you go to the ice caves, and there's a big maybe 40-30 minutes where you're just walking around climbing stuff, not really worrying about enemies or anything like that, just talking with Tenzin and Nathan, being funny and sarcastic, and that's really special.
Yeah, I agree. It just, a lot of people hated the, I'm going to bring in Uncharted 3 for a second, just because it correlates with what we were talking about. Uncharted 3, a lot of people hated the sand, like the desert area, but that was literally, like, my favorite part of the game.
Yeah, me too. I don't understand that hate. Because after going to a snow town in Uncharted 2, bringing you back to a desert, to something that was wildly opposite to what you've seen, I think it was a great move.
Yeah, I like that, and I see more of that in Uncharted 4 with, like you have more open areas, so you're traveling and with Sully and Nathan's brother,
Uncharted 4
just talking.
It seems to take on the set pieces part of things and just blow it up, because we've seen a lot of you being in Africa, in some jungles of Africa and in some kind of desert parts. We've seen that from demos and stuff like that, but the trophies for Uncharted 4 recently leaked, and I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's some set pieces that the play says that are different from what we're used to, and I think that I'm very excited for Uncharted 4.
Yeah, and I'm sad that you know of those places, but it's awesome.
I kind of wish I didn't know them. I saw them sadly on accident, but I kind of know what to expect.
I'm kind of jealous though too.
Yeah, I wish I know I'm gonna experience it for the first time and it's still gonna be awesome, but knowing kind of where you go, not in its entirety, but a place in specific where you go, I kind of wish I didn't see it, but I'm okay with it. I'm very excited for Uncharted 4.
Yeah. So as I was talking about earlier, I thought Uncharted 2 was the shorter one, but I was actually wrong. Uncharted 2 is the longest of them, which
oh yeah, that's true.
It speaks to how well the pacing is, I guess.
Yeah, it speaks to how the game really just soaks you in, and you lose hours. That's the type of game that you play for 5 hours and you don't even realize it. You think you've been playing it for like an hour tops.
Yeah, and just the puzzles I remember being brilliant. I think it's the strongest when it comes to puzzles in the series.
A lot of people dislike the puzzle sections. I think they're good. I think it's a nice change of pace every now and then. And one of the part to me, the two of the parts that stand out the most in Uncharted 4 are the train sequence, which we've talked about, which is just actiony and very fast and wild, and the part where you go to the ice caves, where you're just with Tenzin and you're walking around and there's some puzzles and you have to open doors and stuff like that. It's the opposite. It's slow and steady, and I love that part.
Yeah, I agree. I love Uncharted for its action, big set piece moments. But my favorite moments are the slow,
yeah,
like character building moments. Like, we're going to talk about Uncharted 3 next week, but I love in Uncharted 3 whenever Nathan rests his head on Elena's lap.
That
and
scene
it just shows like a peaceful moment.
That's an incredible scene, yeah. After what was to me one of the best parts of the game, but like you said, we're gonna delve into it deep next week.
Yeah, and yeah, where are we at on time? We still got we can.
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about it. Just Uncharted 2,
okay.
like I said, to me improved what Uncharted 1 did. When Uncharted 1 came out, people noticed it, and people definitely knew that it was a special game. But when Uncharted 2 dropped, and it was just so wildly different and better, and
won literally hundreds of awards.
Yeah, it did. It was just so mind-blowing, the things you could do in that game. And there's a scene where it's a small scene, but you're inside a building and a helicopter takes it down and the building goes down as you're going down, and you have to jump from building to building.
Yeah, that felt like I was in a movie.
That probably happens in 30 seconds, but that scene is just so wonderful, and
it's crazy to think about. I remember the first time that I played that game, and when that part happened, my mind was like freaking out, because I'm like, oh my god, the building's falling, I don't know where to go, I'll just run down this way. And sure enough, you jump out of the freaking building.
Exactly. That's what Uncharted nails. It's just, you finish those moments and I often pause the game and I'm like, holy shit, what just happened? Did I just jump from a building to a building? And it gives you a lot of it gives you rush and adrenaline, and it's the perfect way to make an action movie into a video game. And Uncharted 1 started with it and did it very well, but Uncharted 2 just blew it out of proportion and took it 5 times more crazy and over the top. And that's why I think Uncharted 2 was the game with that people played and went, wow, holy shit, this isn't just a special game. This is a masterpiece. This is something incredible.
Yeah, it was unlike anything anybody had ever played.
Exactly, and it's kind of weird because we said the same thing about Uncharted 1, but Uncharted 1 was a very special thing. Something people hadn't seen before. And
it's freaking Naughty Dog.
And Naughty
Dog
knocking
it out of the park.
Yeah, exactly. And Naughty Dog just Uncharted 2 already had high expectations, and they just blew it out of the park. Everybody's like, "Whoa, this is just crazy." This, like, I didn't even think that was possible. That it's that kind of game.
Yeah, it's one of those games where after you finish it, you set down the controller, and you just know you might have played the best game that you'll ever play.
Exactly. One of my favorite parts about that game, honestly, there's a scene after you get the dagger, I think, where you're trying to figure out a map or something like that, and it's just a big puzzle with I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. There's like a giant dagger, and you have to get it down, to stab somebody and get down in the tunnels, and that's probably around 30 minutes of just climbing to insane heights and putting things down and putting reflections to get something down. And when you're finally done and you look up and you're like, wow, did I just really climb up there? That's the kind of stuff that blew your minds, and you didn't even think that was possible.
Every Uncharted game that comes out, freaking it. I've been saying frickin' a lot, but I can't help it when it comes to Uncharted.
Yeah, it's kind of what happens.
It ups the ante so much than the previous game.
Exactly. It does. It turns it way I don't even know how to say it. It's like a Uncharted 1 multiplied by 5.
Yeah.
It's basically that.
So, one character that I haven't mentioned yet, and she's one of my favorite characters in the whole series, is Chloe, was introduced in Uncharted 2.
Chloe, yeah, that's right, and I love that character. That's a really good character.
Yeah, I love Chloe because she reminds me of, like, that mysterious character that you don't really know which side she's on. She reminds me a lot of, like, Ada from Resident Evil 2 and 4.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And to kind of speak about that, you know that her and Nate have sort of a story, and when you're not really sure if Elena is gonna appear again, and when she does, appear again, and you figure out that they broke off whatever they had, and it's kind of weird because there's this kind of love triangle. That's awesome. That's the story elements that Naughty Dog just nails.
Yeah, it was awkward, you know, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was awkward. You felt awkward with being with the two girls, and there was there was this great play between them, and it was just wonderful.
Elena's first appearance, I was like, oh snap.
Yeah, so did I. I didn't know if she was gonna appear again, and I was like, oh, she's here. This is awkward.
Yeah, I stayed like completely spoiler free whenever I was playing every Uncharted game, so everything came as a big surprise.
Exactly, yeah. It's just wonderful. I really love Uncharted 2. It's one of the best games out there.
Uncharted 2 is one of the best games out there. You should definitely go play it if you haven't. If you haven't played it, you should either go check your brain and see if there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Or something, because if you haven't heard about Uncharted 2, you're crazy.
Exactly, yeah, for sure. Uncharted 2 it's just one of the marquee PlayStation games.
Yeah, and we are going to end it on that. We try to keep these around 20 minutes long. We want to know what you guys think, so give us some suggestions on what series to do next in the comments.
Yeah.
Or tell us what you like or hate about us.
Great, yeah.
And
we're open for any suggestions and criticism.
So yeah, we love Uncharted. We don't have that much bad stuff to say about it, obviously. That might change in the future when we talk about some other games. Resident Evil 6. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, and I'm Brett Medlock. You can follow me at BrettNLL. Mario, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Mario Not Gross.
Still can't believe you got that handle without any numbers in it.
I know. I was kind of surprised. I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, this is probably taken. It wasn't. I love it.
Yeah, I like a handle better for me called, it's just, I have it as Brett Lost, but that was taken on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, that's really good.
So it's my name on some other stuff, but not Twitter. It's BrettNLL, which is my name on basically everything.
Yeah, as soon as I found the Mario Not Bros, I took it on basically every social media.
Yep. So, thank you guys for hanging out. Next week we'll be talking about Uncharted 3, followed by Uncharted Golden Abyss, and then definitely followed by Uncharted 4, which we will have in our hands, and we will have beaten by then.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
Can't wait either. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Bye.